Attention. Please let us have your attention.
So like, without trying to put you on the spot or anything, but obviously I see like making an album with someone as more, it's like a pressure situation, isn't it? It's like living with someone almost, because you're going to be in the studio so many times now.
Yes.
In that pressure situation, you'll probably find certain things that get on your nerves about someone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, what's it like just working in that hot pressure kind of situation sometimes, because you're obviously going to get on each other's nerves at some point.
Yeah, you know what? Not to give myself too much credit, I'm a pretty reserved dude. So
Okay.
it takes a lot for me to get annoyed or
Okay.
you know, just overwhelmed. I learned how to just really balance out things and
Yeah.
work through things, and my focus is usually always on the bigger picture, which is the
Right.
outcome and
Final
what I'm
product.
here for and what the whole purpose is. But you know, of course, anytime you're working on a project, I would say usually what happens is probably slight creative differences on certain things. You know, like a good jewel would be like MF Doom. When we were working on the record, MF Doom is a master of words in a sense where if you said carrots on track 3, you probably shouldn't say carrots or anything like it on track 9.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it gets that deep with him.
Right,
Like if you said a
okay.
particular word on one song, I don't want to hear that
You've done
word
that
on
now.
this album
Right, okay.
at all ever again. You know,
Okay.
so it's like that. Or if we're sampling a track,
Yeah.
for any beat that's on the album, we need to listen to the entire track before anything's sampled.
Don't
know
want
what
to
I'm
miss
saying?
anything.
These type of rules, and not even missing, just celebrate how the original was made and done, and just take it all in. It's like almost paying homage.
Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah,
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? So these type of different rules and things which weren't really a bad thing. It was all a learning experience. You know
Definitely,
what I'm saying?
man.
And it was all really jewels to making all of these things happen. So it really wasn't anything that I can really pick out negative in these experiences. You know, like with Lewis Parker, originally, I'll be honest, we met through a label, Project Moon Circle in Germany, in Berlin, that we were both doing business with, you know, separately.
Okay.
And we did a 7-inch called A Place Called Home.
Okay.
And Mr. Cooper did the track, and then there was a track by my brother Four Winds on the B-side. So that kind of made me research and kind of look up Mr. Parker and what he was doing, because I'll be honest, the only thing I really knew of Lewis at the time was more so the recent work with Ghostface, etc. So when I was able to look back into the discography and discover that, wow, this brother has a discography that dates back to, you know, the mid-90s like myself. So it sort of felt like, wow, this is a pretty serious alignment, and I didn't know exactly what the label were up to when they, you know, kind of just decided to say, yo, we're both working together on different sides. It might make sense for y'all to join forces and do a record. And when we sat in the studio, I would say, it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know, that record, I haven't really told anyone this before, but that record was done entirely front to back, mixed, mastered, and everything in 2 months.
Wow.
You know?
Mixed, mastered, everything. Yeah, artwork and all that. Wow.
2 months.
That's an exclusive here on Bang there. You heard it here first.
Yeah, it was
definitely.
It was something that at first we felt very rushed, but when the music started to come out, we said, you know what? I guess this
Sounds
is it.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the beautiful thing about music, isn't it? It just sometimes just happens. Like sometimes the best music ain't planned out or thought out. It just, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wanted to ask you that because obviously you get big artists working together, like for example a Dre and a Rakim. They're supposed to be making an album, and then due to creative differences they part ways. So I just wanted to kind of get in your head a bit quick, you know what I'm saying, and see what that pressure situation is like, you know what I'm saying?
True. And that's the thing. I feel like one of the things I learned, I'll put it like this. I'll say a wise man once told me that one of the most important reasons to be conscious is to be conscious enough to realize that you're in a groundbreaking or life-changing or inspiring situation, a moment, and act upon it as such for later, not for now. You know what I'm saying? So when I would get certain calls or certain opportunities, I'm literally doing them, thinking about later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of these opportunities unfold. I feel like it's important for me to work with J. Rawls today, But it's really more important for later. It's important for me to work with the Lyricist Lounge right now, but it's for later. You know what I'm saying?
History in the making, definitely,
yeah.
man. So, like, talk to the people a little bit about your influences and what kind of got you started rapping. You know what I mean? What was, you know?
Yeah. I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in the South Bronx, you know, and was raised pretty much between the Bronx and Far Rockaway, Queens.
Oh,
so
I see.
I was in New York, experienced hip hop firsthand very easily. You know, I can remember literally the first time hearing tracks like Curtis Blow, AJ Scratch, or the first time I heard Rakim, Check Out My Melody, and what it did to me personally.
Yeah.
You know, but I would say, long story short, my most direct inspiration, Jamal Thomas, was like a classmate in 5th grade. His parents had an Ashford and Simpson type group called Thomas and Taylor. They came into class, showed us videos of them doing shows all throughout Europe and Japan, and, you know, had records, signed the albums for us, like a show and tell type thing. I would go over this kid's house all the time and never knew. You know, so at this time it felt like, wow, his parents are like superstars all over the world, but no one really knows them here. And it gave me that concept early that, wow, you can really live your dream through music and not really be that, you know,
that superstar,
go to the store
the
and
Jay-Z or whatever.
Exactly.
Right,
So it gave me that concept early, and he actually is the kid in 5th grade who showed me how to write bars and count bars.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So I wrote, you know, my first rhymes as early as 10 years old.
So we all owe him a bit of a gratitude then, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So that was probably my direct inspiration. And of course, my older brother, Four Winds, and partner in Science of Life, he held me up a lot and made sure I was in tune, you know?
Alright, well, that's a good background to start off with, definitely, man. So, like, at the moment, what kind of artists are you know what I mean, listening to? Like, what would be in your iPod, like, other than your own stuff and whatnot, you know?
You know what? I'll be honest. In my iPod, there's probably not a bunch of hip-hop.
No? Oh, it's different genres,
There's different genres. I've been getting on the jazz for quite a bit. You know, that's like relaxing, thinking music.
Yeah, definitely.
I can even write to jazz sometimes because I know what I want to write and what I want to come out, but that just kind of gives me insight and inspiration of topics and things like that. But a lot of jazz, a lot of soulful, cool vibes, you know. I'm over 30 now, so it's like I'm not so much into, I would say, the mixtape scene or the street scene or anything like that, but I do keep my ears to the streets in terms of like what's new and what's hot, etc. Like, for instance, I listen to people in hip hop that I know, you know, or that I came across personally. Like, you know, when I lived in Cali, I met Aloe Black and Exile like very early, you know what I'm saying, like 2003, before really people know them from now. You know, I met Flying Lotus early, I met Ross G early, I met DiBiase early, and a lot of these cats that are kind of like the newcomers who are doing it right now, I knew them early, so I listened to them. You know, like I listened to some electronic, the hip hop vibes you would catch me listening to. More so, it's gonna be like newer heads. I would say, like, if Exile's doing it, I'm gonna check for it, you know, like the Fashawn and the Blue joints. And I would say, other than that, just I stick with the veins of what I've been used to all these years. Like the roots, I'm always gonna check for the roots.
Definitely.
You know, Black Thought in terms of writing.
Oh man, that new one, How I Get Over, that new album, crazy, isn't it?
Exactly.
Crazy.
So I check for that, but anything in that vein, you know, Bilal dropped an album, I check for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even all the way up to your Chrisette Michelle's. You know, I like her writing style. I like her voice.
Definitely.
You know, but really for me now, it's a music thing. You know, even reggae. You might catch me with Beres Hammond or one of the oldie joints. You know, so yeah, I like to keep it very versatile and very open. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of keep an open mind.
Definitely, man.
Word up.
Open-mindedness is definitely what you need. You need to be that full musical kind of, in that main perspective.
Exactly.
I definitely feel that.